What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another Four Corners video for today's 5-game MLB main slate, courtesy of Awesemo.com. With 5 games on the slate and a lot of power-happy bats we're going to talk about in this video, you're going to find some guys who are going to hit some home runs today. And you know what that means. I'm going to give you guys a chance to win a free month of Awesemo Plus. All you have to do right now, like this video, comment your double dong pick down below, the guy you think is going to hit 2 home runs today. If you're correct, you'll be entered to win that free month of Awesemo Plus, and we'll announce the winners from Friday's contest a little bit later in the video. But now on to our first corner of the top pitchers on the slate, and this is going to get ugly real fast because Jeff Samardzija going against San Diego is going to be the top pitching option today. Samardzija gets 4.6 implied runs against him and is expected to be the #1 owned pitcher on DraftKings with 44%, on FanDuel with 27%, and a #2 on Yahoo with 45% expected ownership. Samardzija has shown decent tournament upside this year, but a chalk spot is terrifying given his 8.8 hits per 9, 41% hard contact, and 4% home run rate allowed versus a San Diego projected lineup whose top 5 are all over a 113 WRC+. There's also 4 guys in that top 5 who are over a 223 ISO versus right-hand pitching. So even in a pitching-friendly park, this is a tough spot to really trust Jeff Samardzija. I'm generally not a big Jeff Samardzija guy, as you may be able to tell. I'm especially not a big fan of his on a day where he's going to be chalk. I'm going to try to find guys elsewhere, and I'm going to definitely be under the field on the ownership that he projects for so far. Logan Allen versus San Francisco also projects to be decently owned with 3.5 implied runs against him. Allen will be the #1 owned pitcher on Yahoo with 50%, and he'll be #2 on DraftKings with 38% expected ownership. Allen's been solid in his limited MLB starts thus far with a 1.2 whip and 3.7 xFIP, but his 7 Ks per 9 aren't the best from a fantasy perspective, particularly against the San Francisco projected lineup, with a 20.3% K rate. I have far less issue rostering Allen than I do Samardzija. In a pitching-friendly park, I think Allen's going to benefit as well, but I think the spot here is one where he's going to be a bit too highly owned, and I'd rather take a stab at some guys with more strikeout upside who will be cheaper than him as well. And Tyler Mahle versus Milwaukee should also find some ownership today, despite the 4.9 implied runs against him. Mahle's going to be #2 owned on FanDuel with 21%, and he'll be #3 owned on DraftKings with 38% projected ownership. Mahle has gotten strikeouts at a decent clip with 9.2 Ks per 9 this year, but he struggles versus lefties, the 1.8 whip and a not-so-nice 6.9 xFIP, as well as a 6.2% home run rate, which is a nightmare versus Milwaukee's heavy lefty power. I could see having some Samardzija or Allen based upon how their projections shake out, but I think I'm not going to have any Tyler Mahle today because I really don't see the upside for him in this particular spot versus Milwaukee, given the many struggles that Mahle has versus lefties. On to our next corner, the top stacks on the slate, and a Texas stack versus Jose Suarez should be a popular one today with 5.8 implied runs for them, which is a slate high. Suarez's 1.5 whip and 55% fly ball rate in 2019 can be dangerous in a warm hitter's park, despite Texas's mediocrity versus left-hand pitching. Suarez has really struggled with power with a 6.7% home run rate allowed, but many stacks or a one-off Joey Gallo may be more appealing given the high ownership for the stacks and their overall weak 75 WRC+ versus left-hand pitching for Texas. Suarez interests me a bit as a leverage pitcher given how bad Texas has been versus lefties on the year, but I think the spot here for Texas is a strong one. They project well, and I think it's worth having some exposure to them, even though they are going to be a bit too highly owned by what I think. An Angels stack versus Mike Minor should also find some popularity today with 4.7 implied runs for them. The Angels currently project to be the top owned stack with a lot of that ownership going towards Mike Trout and Justin Upton in particular. Minor has been solid on the year with a 1.1 whip and 8.8 Ks per 9, so even with a warm weather day on a short slate, LA seems a bit overowned outside of the always viable Mike Trout. I get people want to load up on the hitters at Texas whenever the weather starts to warm up, but I don't know if this is a perfect spot for the Angels because Mike Minor has been really solid on the year and doesn't offer a ton of fantasy production going against him. And despite the high ownership for Tyler Mahle, a Milwaukee stack versus Tyler Mahle should also be popular today with 4.9 implied runs for them. The high ownership for Yasmani Grandal, Christian Yelich, and Mike Moustakas in particular seems logical given Mahle's massive lefty struggles. Including some righties or a lower owned lefty like Eric Thames with his 274 ISO versus right-hand pitching could help differentiate a stack that looks solid and also offers leverage against the top owned pitcher. I'm very big on Milwaukee today. I'm very big on the opportunity going against the highly owned Tyler Mahle. I think it's a really strong spot, and I'll have a ton of Brewers tonight. On to our next corner, the lower owned options, and Adbert Alzolay at Pittsburgh is a guy who intrigues me. Alzolay gets 4.8 implied runs against him, and Pittsburgh does hit right-hand pitching well with a 278 batting average to the projected lineup, but Alzolay has allowed just 2.1 hits per 9 while tallying 9.4 Ks per 9 thus far in a very limited sample size. Given the dicey chalk pitching, Alzolay provides upside, but some real risk in a positive hitting park, with him allowing a lot of power thus far when hitters do make contact with a 53% fly ball rate and a 6% home run rate allowed. It's only been a couple games for Alzolay, so he can get blown up today, but I do think he has some strikeout upside here, and that's what I'm looking for, where there's going to be a lot of ownership on guys who I don't see a lot of strikeout upside for. Tampa Bay stack versus the to-be-determined Baltimore pitcher interests me with 5.7 implied runs for them. Value prices for Tampa Bay seem interesting, especially if Baltimore goes to a bullpen day, given the brutal 1.6 whip and 5 xFIP allowed by the bullpen overall. 3-man stacks of Brandon Lau, Tommy Pham, and Austin Meadows project for some ownership, so including low-owned cheap guys like G-Man Choi and his 133 WRC+, plus, or other quality hitters like Yandy Diaz, Avisail Garcia, or Willy Adames could make a low-owned full stack with upside. The news on Baltimore's pitcher still isn't out yet as of me recording, so watch that closely because if it's somebody who surprisingly is good, that could certainly ruin things. But right now, Tampa Bay does look good to me, and the Vegas total also seems strong. And on the other side, Ryan Yarbrough versus Baltimore also interests me with 3.3 implied runs against him. Yarbrough's the projected long reliever behind opener Ryan Stanek, and he gets a Baltimore projected lineup who has a 28.4% K rate versus left-hand pitching. Hanser Alberto is Baltimore's only decent hitter versus left-handed pitching with a 156 WRC+, but he doesn't have much power with a 127 ISO, so the spot overall seems really good for a low-owned Yarbrough. Yarbrough and Adrian Hauser, those are two guys who are going to be cheap and low-owned today with real strikeout upside. I think the spot's good to go to guys like them and Albert Alzolay on a day where we're going to have a lot of Tyler Mahle and a lot of Jeff Samardzija chalk. And speaking of him, I like the San Diego stack going against Jeff Samardzija with the 4.6 implied runs for them. Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, Hunter Renfroe, and Franmil Reyes have blasted right-hand pitching on the year, with all of those guys over a 223 ISO and a 113 WRC+. Samardzija's high ownership makes San Diego direct leverage, with the main concern the pitching-friendly park rather than Samardzija's skill or San Diego's talent level, which is quite high. I like San Diego as leverage. They've done a good job hitting at home despite the pitching-friendly park. I think it's a nice spot to go to the top guys here, even though I don't have much interest in the bottom of that order. Onto our last corner, the one-offs, and Christian Yelich going against Tyler Mahle is the guy I like the most. Yelich is 318 ISO and 177 WRC+ versus right-hand pitching is otherworldly, while Mahle's 10.8 hits per 9 allowed and 6.2% home run rate to lefties means big opportunity for the reigning NL MVP. I definitely like that full Brewer stack, but I think if you want to go with one-off, I think Yelich is the guy worth paying up for, especially if you are going with some of those cheap pitchers trying to get away from the high-owned chalk at pitching. Eric Hosmer versus Jeff Samardzija also interests me, with Hosmer not quite as powerful as the rest of the projected top of San Diego's lineup, but Samardzija's worst versus lefties, the 1.6 whip and 4.3% home run rate, while Hosmer is decently priced. He has a 303 batting average and a 126 WRC+ versus right-hand pitching. Hosmer's decent value, and I like him as either a one-off or as part of that San Diego stack that definitely still interests me. Nothing has changed from the 1 minute ago that I talked about them. And Ji-Man Choi versus the TBD Orioles pitcher also interests me. Assuming a righty pitcher starts, Choi's price is extremely appealing given his 133 WRC+ and 218 ISO, while also being in the top 3 of the Tampa Bay projected lineup. Again, watch out closely for who the pitcher is for Baltimore today, because that could change things a bit, but overall, that's a really nice price for Choi given where he's hitting and the fact that this stack should have some guys on base. So there we have it. Those are my thoughts today on the short slate, which should be an interesting one. But of course, if you want to win that free month of Osmo Plus right now, use this information I gave you and like the video, comment your double dong picks down below. If you're correct, you'll be entered to win that free month of Osmo Plus. On Friday, we had 3 guys who made correct double dong picks, and you could see them right here. We got Josh Engelman's wife, who is not actually Josh Engelman's wife, DJ Esquire, and Arnab Dasgupta, who all got it right. So great job by you guys. You all are heroes among men, but unfortunately, only one of you can win the Osmo Plus membership, and the randomizer told me that DJ Esquire wins, so good job, DJ Esquire. I'm sure you are spinning the fattest beats around on YouTube. Good job. If you want to collect that prize, email me, chris@osmo.com, and of course, if you want to win your own free month, go right now, like the video, and comment your double dong pick down below. And if you don't want to wait for the hitters of Major League Baseball to carry you to the Osmo Plus pay window, you can also use that promo code Switch and Hedge for half off your first month of any Osmo Plus package. Get all the ownership projections, the rankings, the deep dive column every day, the lineup builder, the top stacks tool, a million different things that'll help you make better MLB DFS lineups every day. So use that promo code Switch and Hedge right now for half off your first month of Osmo Plus. As always, I need you to go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. Followers add value in my life in so many ways. I'll also answer any question you guys have. I also love chopping it up with you guys whenever you guys tweet me. So go ahead right now, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I'll be back tomorrow for another Four Corners video, so thank you guys for watching, and of course, good luck.